Alright, good morning and welcome to the day in the life of an intern in Japan. In this video, I'm going to take you through my daily routine of what I do as an intern from Canada working in Japan. I'm going to show you what my office looks like, what my lunch break looks like, and how I daily commute to work. I'll also try and answer some of the questions that people have about working in Japan, like what's the work culture like, is it insane hours, and any other questions like that. Pretty much every morning I get the same UCC milk coffee. It's freaking delicious. I can't get enough of it. And the sending machine always has stock that are very cold and perfect for my morning. So let's head to work. Now, I'll start to begin by saying that because I'm an intern, I come in with a different perspective. I am definitely feel like I'm treated differently, not only because my job is in English, but also because there are different standards for foreigners working in Japan than people who were born in Japan. So to answer this question, I had to ask my friend who's currently working and living in Tokyo, who's from here. And he explained it to me like this. There are basically two types of companies, black and white companies. One of the companies are more easygoing, allowing for, shorter hours, not much overtime, and fairly good benefits and pay. And then there's the other side, which is a lot more intensive, longer hours, unpaid overtime, and expectations like going to drink with your bosses after work, which is mandatory. And this does happen. But it's usually for companies that are a lot older and more traditional. So that is not the case for me. I definitely work at a more relaxed company, specifically because it's also a non-for-profit in Japan. So we have less strict, for example, guidelines on what to wear to work, on breaks coming to work, overtime at work, things like that. So you may be wondering, well, how did I work in Japan? And how can you work in Japan as well? Well, I would say there's a lot of different ways to do it, but the most popular way is to find an organization through your institution that you currently work at, or through a school if you are a student right now. So for example, I'm going to the University of Victoria in Canada, and it's mandatory for us to gain work experience to complete our degree. And so one of the opportunities that we're able to do is go do international work experiences. And that's exactly what I chose to do. I went into my job board within my university, found the job I wanted, and then I was connected with the employer after customizing my resume to match what the Japanese requirements are. If you, however, are not a student and you are working full-time as an employee and you're wondering, how can I work in Japan? There are a few ways to go about it. One of the options that you can do is you can join volunteer programs that will allow you to live here with housing and different things, and you can essentially volunteer in exchange for accommodation. This is what's commonly known as a workaway program or a live abroad, which there are some websites that I can leave in the description of the video. Another website that was advised to me when I was looking for jobs in Japan was a company called Going Global. Now, this is not just only for Japan, but it's also for a lot of other countries across the world, and it's helpful because a lot of the jobs you can filter if you only speak certain languages. For example, I don't speak Japanese and I can only speak English, and so I needed to find a job that matched that criteria. Anyways, I hope that clarifies some questions people may be having about working abroad, especially in Japan, and I'd be happy to answer any more questions in the future. Alright, so after about a 40-minute commute from my home to the office, we're now here. I work in a shared office space called Kito. It's a design and creative studio that has about, I'd say around 100 offices. Probably more like 50 now that I think about it. So if you guys usually watch my shorts, you know where I go for lunch in the mornings, or I should say at lunchtime, but there's a place that I usually always go to because it's very classic cafeteria style where you can choose a lot of different dishes for quite cheap. Basically, you can pick from a lot of different options, and then you use this ticketing machine right here, and yeah, it's awesome. I get it every day. My favorite thing to get is usually a bowl of ramen or udon, especially on cold days. It's, you know, nice to warm up, and then you can get a side dish too of like beef or chicken or pork. Today I went with some deep fried breaded pork, rice, and all of this is around 550 yen. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do was introduce one of my coworkers. So, can you introduce your name?
My name is Mitsuda.
Isida.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do you have one hobby you want to share?
My hobby is to play golf.
Nice.
Yeah, I went to golf driving range.
Yeah.
With him. Yeah, it was a nice time.
Good guy. Good guy. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you got a little bit of an explanation of what working in Japan is like, and follow next time for the next video.